before you go into the ground and you're dead forever, try one store, your dream, your aesthetics, your menu, your formula, your product. Just go for it once. Attention is the number one asset.
Let's kick it right off. The arbitrage is here. As I spent all summer selling cards on eBay to join a Fanatics live stream and win an auction to what I think I stole to grab 15 minutes of your time. So eBay, I mean, I've been following you for years. We're obviously all in on the vending. We're all in on the cards, the books, the whole nine. So we run a podcast and we want to give back to our people, our staff, our employees. And we've got, a couple questions teed up for you. I want to just introduce ourselves real quick and go from there and see where that takes us. And just, holy crap, we're so blessed to even, have a little bit of your time.
I'm so
honored.
Yeah, Justin's voice is shaking.
You guys are being very, very sweet. Thank you for all the swag that's on the tables and everything. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm excited to be here with you.
Got the black cat, got the 10 ant that I know you saw earlier today, and I launched on Courage's stream last night. So this is Chris Alexa, our CEO. We're Aspire to Be Hospitality, 16 restaurants, Buffalo Wild Wings, Starbucks. And this is Kimberly Alexa, our CFO. So we wanted to be sensitive of our time. We each kind of have a question teed up for you, kind of specific to our industry and your expertise. And we wanted to rock and roll. So Kim, kick us off.
Yeah. So, and forgive me, I wrote my question down just because I'm so starstruck. I didn't want to get preoccupied. But my question really is evolved around our podcast and Next Level. And we have run this for a very short time, around 10 months, our podcast. But my question is, what are some strategies or tactics that you recommend for us increasing our podcast audience engagement and increasing our loyal customer base? Right now, we're at around 500 subscribers, and over the next 6 months, we have a goal to reach 1,000. So what strategy specifically that you can help us out with to go from 500 to 1,000 in a 6-month, pretty short time span?
For many things. One, how often are you doing the podcast?
It's once a week. We are releasing our podcast once a week, and then we have episodes. So
every Tuesday
morning
we release one.
Yeah.
So
but our episodes. This is our third episode.
No worries. How did you get the original 500?
Just originally, just
organically.
I mean, we're gaining 5 to 10 a week every episode. We've done 30 episodes and 290 shorts, which are just basically shorts or clips within the episodes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You're filming the episodes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And are you?
This is our studio.
Yeah, without the lights, this is.
And so for me, the way I would do it is you film the episodes and I would chop up the highlights and I would focus on LinkedIn and I would target employees. I would run media to amplify that content of employees of other hospitality groups on LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't hit LinkedIn. We're on every other one, but not LinkedIn.
So LinkedIn to me is disproportionately the most fruitful platform for y'all because you're a B2B conversation more than a B2C conversation. Mm-hmm. So people's mindset in consuming content in LinkedIn is much more business content oriented. Plus the way that LinkedIn ads work, you can post a piece, 37-second clip or a 2-minute clip that you think is really great from the show. And then you can literally run $1,000 in ads or $500 in ads against employees of these 7 different hospitality groups who clearly would be more likely to be interested in what you're talking about. You could also,
that's pretty cool.
But think about it. You could also go broader than that. Obviously, you can run against employees of this restaurant group or that one, but you can also run against employees of Marriott. You can run it against employees of Taco Bell. There's a lot of different ways you could target your media. And these are $300, $400, $500 media spends, not $400,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. That's good. That's a good question. A good answer. That helped out a lot.
Yeah.
So Chris has a. Go ahead.
I've got one more for you. All three of you need to go to your phone, and you need to all go to your phone one weekend, grab a glass of wine, go to contacts, start at the letter A, and hit up Aaron Anderson and text him and say, "Hey, Aaron, hope you've been well. We haven't spoken since high school. Here's a link to my podcast. It would mean a lot to me if you would listen." And I would end with Zarly Zarlerson and do that for a week or two until you're done with A to Z, but literally directly sending a link to the podcast. And then obviously adding a sentence or two, because some people you haven't talked to in a year and it might seem out of touch, and other people you might have talked to last week, but you're just very transparent. I'm doing this podcast. I'm really passionate about it. It would mean the world to me if you listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. We thought about that, but never pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah.
We're kind of intimidated by that, right? We don't want to offend our friends. Like we're pushing ourselves off on them.
That's right. That's right. You don't spam them. That's right. This is why you have the link, and you have to take time and write a custom thing. You're not Control-C, Control-V-ing and spamming everyone. You're literally going to Barry Bond and saying, "Hey, Barry, and don't forget this, in your contacts, you have a lot of former employees, former business associates. By the way, you may want to say to one of them or 10 of them or 100 of them, "Hey, would love to have you on the podcast."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I like the thing about drinking the wine too at the same time. That's good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let Chris. Is our fearless leader. He's got one teed up for you.
Yeah. So Gary, as you can see, this is my NFT right here, the Bullish Bull, and that's who I am. Right. Me and Kim started this company back we were 26 and no college education, and bought my first franchise as Quiznos, and me and her worked those stores to death every day of the week until we grew to 2. And then we sold those and grew this brand. And we changed our company name to Aspire to Be. And that's what it is, Aspire to Be More. We're just out here trying to change other people's lives too, just as you're doing too. So, but we're part of 6 different brands: Starbucks, Buffalo's, Arby's. As a CEO, I'm always sitting in my office. I spend a little bit of time of always dreaming and visualize what's our next step. What are we doing next? We are so saturated with the restaurant. As when COVID hit, it killed us all, right? And it was like, I've always tried to diversify. What can we do next? And I'm always looking out there, and I want your advice. I've looked at other things too, and I'll use this for example, like energy drinks. We sell a lot of Red Bull in our bars, and a lot. And then one of the things Kim envisioned was a slip-resistant shoe. Can we get in a shoe line? Because we have 1,000 employees, if not more, that are buying these, Skechers shoes. And is there anything that you can throw at me that you might let us look at, that we should be looking at in this business?
I believe the natural step for you to go for the Grand Slam is to become the franchisor.
Yeah.
I believe if you guys were my first cousins and we were always family vacationing, at the level and scale that you just referred to, I'd be bothering you on that one week at the grandparents' lake every year saying, "Listen, with the money you're making, because you've got the successful thing, once a year, you need to try a concept that is yours." Because what will happen is either it's just a good one-store execution, and this is a muscle you don't have. I always say to franchisees, I speak at a lot of franchisee conferences through the years, and I'll get off stage and I'll crush because I'm good like that. And they're like, "Gary, I love you. You and me are, we're the same. We're entrepreneurs." And I always say this, and this is not disrespectful. I need you to hear this because this is the most fun way to answer your question. I go, "We're not the same, my friend. I'm an entrepreneur. You're entrepreneurial."
Mm-hmm.
When you're a franchisee, you are an entrepreneurial person with training wheels on. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you do everything. When you're a franchisee, you do most things, but not everything. I think the next step for you versus using your infrastructure, which is smart. I see the energy drink. I see the slippers. My gut is you've built a ridiculous core competency over the last decades. You're educated the way I'm educated, from the streets, from the stores, in the trenches. Right. I find it inconceivable that the two of you, the three of you, whoever else is in the inner circle, don't have some idea of a taco, a pizza, a hot dog, a Philly cheese. I don't know what you think, but there's always new concepts. It's fucking hard. But I think it would be wildly fruitful and enjoyable for you to try. Because I believe you have too much operational knowledge that even if it's not a great concept, you'll have a one-store unit that does well. And you can just sell it off, or you might just want to have it for yourselves. And if you really made the QSR that you really wish existed, it will also be enjoyable.
Yeah.
True.
That's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that is something I've always told people that I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a franchisee. I'm just following the blueprint, but we've always had that vision to do our own thing, and we would love to do that. And it is at this point in life, I want to do something enjoyable. Really. It's just like,
take one like that, and invent something. Like maybe you love watermelon juice. Like you can go for it. You know this because you've been in the game. How long have you been in the game now?
Now I'm 50. We've been doing it since I was 26.
Yeah.
So 24 years, you've seen some concepts that people did not think were going to work, right? You've seen some stuff that has now hit scale, right? That when you read it in the magazines or you heard about it, or I'm sure both of you look at each other and be like, fuck, we shouldn't have passed on that one. That one did well.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
A ton of times. Yes, sir.
That's the game. So I would say that before you go into the ground and you're dead forever, try one store, your dream, your aesthetics, your menu, your formula, your product. Just go for it once.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. You just watered the seed, brother. Thank you.
You know why, brother? Here's why. God forbid you hit it.
Yeah.
God forbid. It's game changing. That is
right.
The energy drink or this, that's solid. But you could, and you know what? As a franchisee at this level of success with this many units, it's inconceivable to me that it hasn't crossed your mind. So fuck it. And use the amount of money that you can go to zero on when you do it. $1 million, $5 million, $2 million, $3 million. I don't know you, but do it at a level where it can go to zero because it is very hard. But remember that the three of you have, and two of you for sure, and I don't know have all the relations, but you have the operational capability.
Yeah. I'm done. Yes. Woo! I got to get started, Gary. Finish this up here. I got to get to work on my dream.
So,
go ahead, Justin. Let Justin get his question in.
Let me end here with, hospitality, franchising. We have a niche audience, and I do LinkedIn. I've got 10,000 followers, and we go to conferences, and people just they rant and rave about what we're doing, but it's not necessarily resonating into call it our subscribers, our viewership, or impression. So as someone who's got an inner circle of some, what we say best in class restaurant folks and hospitality, you've got any ideas on the type of short form content that as an operator I can excel in? I'm super connected into VFriends. I've read the books. What could we be doing that's kick ass?
I think you should do Ask Gary V. Tea with Gary V. I think you should do your version of a Q&A show because then it will go deeper. And then that content will resonate with who you're talking about, because it's hard to self-start on details that we're talking about. But if you answer questions from this universe, you will get to the nerdy content, which will then make you go further.
Yeah.
The nerdy content. That's what we were talking about.
That's where we're hitting it. Yeah.
Very cool.
We just started that.
But it's hard,
all right.
It's hard for me, and I'm great at this, to just come up with the nerdy content, which is why I've always done Q&A. There's a reason I did Ask Gary V. There's a reason Tea with Gary V worked. Got it?
Yeah.
I have two.
Okay. Wow.
So let's wrap it up with this. I like your collective vibe. I'd like to get to know y'all better and get closer.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Heck yeah.